Hey, greetings. Once again, happy to see you. This is the week that is leading into the Lion's Gate, the 8-8 portal. So we're in it. We're already in it. I'm recording this on Monday. So I just wanted to jump on and kind of talk about that energy a little bit and maybe what to expect, or maybe, reflecting back what you already might be feeling. What is purposeful for you to do this week, or what may be a good place to put your attention. So I've described this energy a lot like moving up a runway full speed, and you may have been noticing sort of a lot of coming together lately, almost like people in your story or situations, a lot of pieces kind of flying together, magnetically flying together for this takeoff. So this energy this week is kind of like a launch where, yes, there is a stripping away too. There is a lot being stripped off, but at the same time, there's pieces that are coming and finally locking into place. So noticing that, honoring the process of what is breaking away, what is coming together, and just as much as possible flow with that. Also, as with every year, this alignment is particularly emphasizing the Syrian gateway, and that whole configuration which lights up the Egyptian portal. Okay, so there may be some other remembrances dropping in for you from other lifetimes, but it also is like generating, there's a whole bunch of new energy being generated, and it's positive, right? It's good, but it also Leo King said it like a battle of the gods, okay? But there is an activation happening between powers, if you will, powers that be, and the power within you, power of the old story and the new story being empowered. And it is sort of like playing out on the world stage and possibly in your own reality too. Are you going to let the old story win, or are you going to be empowered by a new story? Are you going to allow the new story in? Are you going to start giving homage to another possibility? Are you going to start telling that story? So it is kind of a power, not struggle. It is kind of a standoff sort of energy. So this week I would definitely get out in nature. I'm going to be in southern Utah area. Be out in nature, get under the stars if possible. Definitely look at what your story is, what wants to be amplified. It's almost like whatever story you're putting under this portal filter is being like magnified, amplified. So it's like, what story do you want to put under the magnifying glass? What story do you want to blow up, to expand with your consciousness that you're looking at, with your awareness? And it doesn't, if you're looking at a story that's disempowering, that can also be the way in which you look at it, which brings consciousness to it, but then you get to make the shift in you. You get to decide what your consciousness is going to do with that information now that you've looked at it. So, for some of you who are aware, there's an organization called OUR, Operation Underground Railroad. This is an example of putting your attention on something. My hair is all up, so if you're not familiar with this organization, I highly recommend you get on Operation Underground Railroad online. It's a .org, and it is all about rescuing victims of human trafficking and sex trafficking. That is a worldwide problem, okay? So it's one of those things, if you don't already know, or even if you do know, there can be a great amount of cognitive dissonance around it. Like, it's so difficult to swallow that this is such a huge, widespread, worldwide program. So I just want to talk about it for a moment, because I went to a benefit concert for them the other night, and I really did feel like part of my consciousness was not sure what to do with this stuff. Even though I wanted to be empowered, I wanted to help, I wanted to make a change. I don't want this to be the reality. And so I pondered, okay, so what is mine to do? I got on their website, and I highly recommend you do this. I'm trying to remember their exact website, but if you just look up our Operation Underground Railroad, you'll find it. And they have a way to like educate yourself, like a mini training on how to identify signs of trafficking. And just watching, it was less than an hour to go all the way through all the videos and answer the questions. Just after doing that, I felt my consciousness had expanded to contain more data, more information. My consciousness expanded, so I was more aware. And at the beginning, I was like, I don't know if I could totally identify. I mean, I would hope that I could have the intuitive, but I wasn't sure all the prompts or what, you know, everything. So going through this mini training, suddenly I had a new skill set, a new set of eyes, a new way of understanding of how this is happening. And just me having awareness felt like that shifted it. Something about that shifted it. So that if I were to notice that in my reality, I would know what to do. My consciousness had expanded its container, okay? So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about with this gateway and portal. When we expand our consciousness to encompass more, even if it's so-called dark or negative, that's where we're bringing in our light. That's where we're bringing our light and where we want to shift. So sometimes we have to bring in the uncomfortable things in order to enlighten them, to bring light to them, to expand consciousness around them so they're no longer working out in the darkness. They're brought to light so that they can shift. So this is a really powerful time to do that work. Integration work. I posted, well, maybe I just sent this to friends because I'm not really very active on Facebook right now. I'm back on simply because a lot of people asked me for accessing those videos there. So I did reactivate, but I'm just not on there. I'm not on there at all, actually. My app is not on my phone or anything. So, but you can find my old videos. But what I was going to say is recent Magenta Pixie video, she spoke about this Lionsgate portal in a way that I think is super helpful. Though some of my friends said they fell asleep listening because it was just a lot of data and felt like a different language, which sometimes that does feel like. So I just want to give a quick synopsis, a summation of that. She talks about, you can't just, okay, there's a dream spell she's speaking of. There's a dream spell going on, keeping most people asleep. And it's a spell, okay? And it's kept in place by certain frequencies and certain storylines, narratives of the old reality. This is what we're trying to break. This is what we're moving out of. This is the point of all the spiritual practice and all of the work that we're doing for the Ascension. But there are some people that are still in the dream spell, okay? That's 3D consciousness. They're asleep, they don't know it, it's like a mind control program. But 4D is where you realize that there's a program and you're kind of mad, and you're kind of upset and you want to like wake people up. And usually this doesn't work because it reinforces the dream spell because of the sharpness of those two realities against each other. And then there is like the 5D consciousness where you're like, oh, I see the bigger picture. I see what all the meaning is for this thing, so I'm just going to hold love. That's what's mine to do. But that also doesn't work to break the dream spell because it's such a different frequency. It doesn't make the dream spell stronger, is what Magenta Pixie was channeling, but it does not also break it. So the only way to break it, which I feel like is the key of this week's energy, the key thing to focus on, is integration. Integration. What does that mean? I've talked about this in other videos a lot. You can go and look back at some specific how to do integration work for the collective videos and so forth. But right now it's really about integrating those three realities, okay? The 3D, the 4D, the 5D. And we do that by just accepting they all exist and being able to try to hold them simultaneously in our awareness with love, with awareness, saying, I'm all of that. I've been all of those, and I'm going to love all those parts of me. By accepting that, we become an integrated consciousness. We see the benefit of each role, and we hold the frequency now of all of it. That's it. Hold the frequency of acceptance for all of it. Be the vibration of all of it, so that we can go through this portal and experience what it looks like on the other side of that. And I'll come back maybe from where I'm at this week and we'll chat some more. Thank you for joining me. If you have questions about specifically how to integrate this energy, please reach out to me. You can leave a comment, I think, below, or you can reach out to me at stageofbliss@gmail.com. Okay, much love.